Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Before we start our lesson, we will begin with reciting surah. The first one will be Surah Al-Fatihah, Surah Taha ayat 1 hingga 5, Surah Al-Insyirah, Surah Al-Kafirun, and then Surah Al-Ikhlas by 3 times. After that, followed by selawat ke atas Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Kita niatkan selawat kita ni untuk memenuhi perintah Allah Subhanahu wa taala. Kita niatkan selawat kita ni untuk memenuhi hak Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Kita niatkan selawat kita ni untuk mendapat syafaat Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam di akhirat kelak. Dan kita niatkan segala bacaan surah dan selawat kita ni untuk kedua orang tua, keluarga dan seluruh umat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Kemudian doa sebelum belajar, semoga dengan usaha ini akan membantu pelajar agar mudah memahami dan dibukakan hati para pelajar untuk mencintai ilmu. Okay?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم طه ما أنزلنا عليك القرآن لتشقى إلا تذكرة لمن يخشى تنزيلا ممن خلق الأرض والسماوات العلى الرحمن على العرش استوى. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا عنك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا فإذا فرغت فانصب وإلى ربك فارغب. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل يا أيها الكافرون لا أعبد ما تعبدون ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد ولا أنا عابد ما عبدتم ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد لكم دينكم ولي دين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد.
اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد. 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 محمد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل 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 محمد
Doa sebelum belajar. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma aftah alaina hikmataka wanshur alaina min hazaini rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. Ya Allah, bukakanlah ke atas kami hikmat-hikmat-Mu dan limpahilah ke atas kami khazanah rahmat-Mu. Wahai yang maha pemurah lagi maha penyayang.
Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Ya Rabbku, lapangkanlah untukku dadaku dan mudahkanlah untukku urusanku dan lepaskanlah kekakuan dari lidahku, supaya mereka mengerti perkataanku.
Amin.
Amin, amin, amin. Ya Rabbal Alamin. In this session, we will discuss about properties of number, and it will include factors and multiples, LCM and HCF, prime factorization, and also test of divisibility. Okay, and now can you please get ready with your notes? Your notes, page 1 until 7, and your worksheet, page 1 until 7. Objectives. At the end of the lesson, students should be able to recognize and use multiples, factors, and common factors. You should be able to find prime factorization, lowest common multiples, LCM, and also highest common factor, HCF. And you should also be able to test the divisibility of the number when solving problems. And actually, all of this topic you already learned during primary level, so you need to revise again. Next, steps to success. Steps to success is actually the steps that you're going to take to achieve our objectives, okay? And first one, and you should copy this down into your notes, all right? And the first one, identify multiples and factors. You should know how to differentiate to identify multiples and also factors, okay? And use tree diagrams or continuous division to find prime factorization. Another name for prime factorization is product of its prime factors, okay? Differentiate the method to find LCM and HCF. To find LCM and HCF, more or less the same, but the ending will be different. So how are you going to find LCM and how are you going to find HCF? Alright? And last one, find a number when divided by another number, the remainder is 0. Okay? So please copy this down into your notes. Let us start with factors. A factor divides the number without leaving any remainder. By now, you should know that factors are the numbers that when you divide, it will not have any remainder. Still with page 1. Here we have 3 examples, example 1, example 2, and example 3. And for example 1, you need to list all the factors of 25. Same like example 2 and example 3, what are the factors of 12? I will give you 1 minute to try. Okay, please check your answers. For example 1, one of the pair of factors for 25 will be 1 times 25. And the second one is 5 times 5. And this will be the only factors of 25. And how you're going to list all the factors? You do like this, okay? For your final answer, you do like this: 1, 5, and 25, okay? And please do not leave any of these factors. If you leave any of these factors, you will not get any marks at all, okay? If it is 1 mark questions. If it is 2 mark questions, at least you will get 1 mark for your working. Please be alert with this one, okay? And example 2, the first pair of factors will be 1 times 72, 2 times 36. Please check your answers. 3 times 24, 4 times 18, 6 times 12, and 8 times 9. Okay, and your final answer will be 1, 2, 3. You start with a small number first, right? So here we should start with 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, 12, 18, 24, 36, and 72. Okay, for example 3, the factors of 12 will be 1 times 12 and 2 times 6 and then 3 times 4. And your final answer should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. Proceed with example 4 and example 5. We discussed this example 4 first. List all the common factors of 20 and 50. And be careful, here we have common. So how are you going to solve these questions? I will give you 1 minute to try. Okay, now, your first step, you need to list down all the factors of 20 and also factors of 50, like this. And then you look at factors of 20 and also factors of 50, which one of the factors are common. Okay, common mean we can find out the factor in these factors of 20 and also in factors of 50. Okay, the first one will be 1, 2, 10, and don't forget 5 here. And then that's all the factors, the common factors between 20 and 50, right? Therefore, your final answer will be 1, 2, 5, and 10, like that. Alright? And now, example 5. What are the common factors of 24 and 36? Repeating the same steps like example 4. So I will give you 1 minute to try. Okay, now, step 1. List down all the factors of 24 and also factors of 36. And step 2, circle all the common factors like this. And then list all the common factors. Therefore, your final answer will be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 12. Next, example 6. Determine the common factors of 18 and 48 between 5 and 10. Here you have two questions. First, you need to list out common factors of 18 and 48, and then you need to give the common factors that between 5 and 10. Okay, so how are you going to cope with this question? I will give you 1 minute to try. Okay, now, step 1, you list out all the factors of 18 and also factors of 48 like this. And then you circle all the common factors. Alright, so here we have 1, 2, 3, and 6. Alright, and done with this, move to step 2. Step 2, you need to give the common factors that between 5 and 10. Therefore, from here, you select the factors that between 5 and 10, which is 6. Therefore, your final answer will be 6. Next, example 7. Rafa has 45 cookies. She wants to pack an equal number of cookies into different bags. In how many ways can she pack the cookies if she must use at least 2 bags? Okay, so this is another way with problems for factors. Okay, and now you list down all the factors of 45 first. And the first one, 1 times 45. This 1 times 45 representing 1 bag equal to 45 cookies per bag. Okay. In other words, 45 bags equal to 1 cookie per bag. Alright. Now, next 3 times 15. It represents 3 bags equal to 15 cookies per bag. And if we have if we have 15 bags, so we're going to have 3 cookies per bag. And the next one, 5 times 9. So here, when we have 5 bags, that means we have 9 cookies per bag. And if we have 9 bags, it means that we have 5 cookies per bag. Make sure you write down all of these workings inside your notes, alright? And proceed. When we read back the question 1, at least 2 bags. Okay, at least 2 bags. Therefore, this one will be excluded. Alright, this one will be excluded. So, number of ways will be 5 ways. This one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. Okay, now we move on with multiple. The multiple of a number is the product of the numbers and any other numbers. In other words, multiple is actually sphere. Okay, your multiplication table. That is actually multiple. Now, let's look at this example 8 and example 9. In this example 8, you need to list the first 6 multiples of 7. And for example 9, the question asks you about what are the first 4 multiples of 9. Okay, and actually you have done this topic during your primary level, so we still have this topic in your 7, so please take this chance to understand these topics. All right, I will give you 1 minute to try. All right, now example 8. So we have 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, and 42. Therefore, the multiples, the first 6 multiples of 7 will be this one. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, and 42. So first 6 mean from the first one, from 1 up to 6. Okay? So first 6 of multiples of 7 will be 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, and 42. And then example 9, repeating the same step. So 9, 18, 27, and 36. And your multiples from first 4 multiples of 9 will be 9, 18, 27, and 36. Moving on with example 10 and 11. Example 10, what are the first 5 multiples of 15? And this example 11, list the first 2 common multiples of 8 and 12. So here we have common. Okay, the question 1, common multiples of 8 and 12, the first 2. Okay, first 2 common multiples of 8 and 12. How you going to cope with these questions? I will give you 1 minute to try. Okay, now for example 10, the first 5 multiples of 15 will be 15, 30, 45, 60, and 75. And your final answer will be 15, 30, 45, 60, and 75. Now, example 11, you need to find out the common multiples between multiples of 8 and multiples of 12. Okay, so if we start from 1 here, 1 times 8, here we have 8, and for 12 we have 1 times 12, which is 12. So they are not common. So proceed with another multiples. 2 times 8, you will get 16. Okay, the multiples will be 16. And when we proceed for the second of multiples of 12, we're going to have 24. Still, we have no common between 8 multiples of 8 and multiples of 12. Proceed again. 3 times 8 equal to 24. And yes, now we have one common multiples between 8 and 12. So you need to proceed another steps to get another one. Okay. So 4 times 8 will give you 32. 3 times 12 will give you 36. So here the next multiples will be 32 and 36. Still not common. Proceed again. 5 times 8 will give you 40. Okay. And 4 times 12 you will get 48. Proceed again. 6 times 8 equal to 48. Now, here we have another common multiples. Therefore, the first 2 common multiples of 8 and 12 will be 24 and 48. Okay, this is how you're going to answer in your exam. Okay, and don't forget to copy down all the workings and also the final answer. Do you know the relations of factors and multiples? And is that factors and multiples is actually related? What do you think? Okay, so take a few seconds to think about this. Okay, the relations of factor and multiples. Let's check with this statement. For part A, what are the factors of 12? So factors of 12 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. Okay, these 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12 are the factors of 12. Correspondingly, 12 is a multiples of 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. Meaning that these 12 we have in Sefer 1, we have in Sefer 2, Sefer 3, Sefer 4, Sefer 6, and also Sefer 12. And let me repeat myself, multiples is actually Sefer. Okay, if you confuse what is multiples, remember multiples is Sefer, your multiplication table. Alright? And for B, list down the first three multiples of 6 and you will get 1 times 6 equal to 6, right? 2 times 6 you will get 12. So 3 times 6 is 18. Therefore, the first three multiples of 6 will be 6, 12, and 18. Okay? Now, correspondingly, 1 and 6 are factor of 6. 2 and 6 are factor of 12. 3 and 6 are factor of 18. That is how actually factor and multiples are related. Alright? Okay, prime numbers. You need to understand these prime numbers by now. You need to know how to explain these prime numbers because you will see different type of questions even in your GCE O level that relates to these prime numbers. Okay, so by now you should know how to explain these prime numbers. A prime number is a number that has exactly two factors, which are 1 and the number itself. I repeat myself, a prime number is a number that has exactly two factors, which are 1 and the number itself. Please remember this one, okay? These are the 25 prime numbers between 1 to 100, okay? It is better for you to memorize these 25 prime numbers so that it will be much easier for you to solve any questions that relates to prime numbers. Okay. Moving on with example 1. 1a is 5 a prime number and explain your answer. For part B, is 80 a prime or composite? Explain your answer. I will give you 1 minute to try. Okay. For part A, the answer is yes, because it only have two factors, 1 and 5. For B, the answer is composite because it have more than two factors. Next, example 2. Jeremy has 6 number cards. We have 49, 51, 53, 55, 57, and 59. Which two of Jeremy's numbers are prime numbers? B. Explain why 51 is not a prime number. So you just need to remember the definitions of prime number and play around with the definitions to answer any questions in exam. Okay, so I will give you 1 minute to try. Okay, now for part A, the answer will be 53 and 59. For part B, explain why 51 is not a prime number. Because 51 has more than two factors. Therefore, it is not a prime number. Just write like this, so it will be accepted in exam. Okay? Okay, now prime factors and prime factorization. Okay? The keywords here are prime and also factors. When we say prime, all the factors must be in terms of prime numbers. Okay? Now, there are two different ways how to answer prime factors and also prime factorization. Alright? By definition, prime factors mean all the factors must be in terms of prime numbers. Okay? All the factors must be in terms of prime numbers. And prime factorization is a way of expressing a number as a product of its prime factors. I will show you how we're going to answer the questions if the questions ask you about prime factors and prime factorization. Okay, there are two methods that you can use to find prime factors. Prime factors or prime factorization, they share same method, okay? Same way how to find out the answers, but the way we write the answer will be different. And I believe both of these methods, three factors and divisions with prime, you already learned during your year 6 level. Okay, now just recap a little bit. These three factors, the steps to use these three factors. Start off with any of the factors you know, but preferable start with one of the factor be a prime number. Okay, circle your number if it is a prime numbers. Continue your branches if your number is composite, and stop when the factor is prime. Okay, sampai ke bawah, you got the prime factors, then you stop. While the divisions with prime, start from the smallest prime of which the number is divisible by it. Keep on raising your prime numbers that is divisible. Keep on continuing your division prime process until you reach 1. Must reach up to 1. Okay? Must reach up to 1. Let's do this example 3. Example 3a. Find the prime factors of 102. And for part B, write 102 as a product of its prime factors. We share the same methods by using factor three factors, or continuous division. Okay, but the way we give the final answer will be different. Now, for 102, by using method 1, factor 3, and you will get 2 times 51, and stop if you already got prime factor. Okay, so 2 already prime factor, you stop up to this 2 and you proceed with this 51 until you reach all the factors of prime factors, like this. So 3 times 17, 3 and 17 are prime factors, so stop. Okay, now method 2, like this. And for method 2, you must reach up to 1. Don't stop up to the 17. Reach up to 1. Okay, and you will get same value even if you use method 1 or method 2. Okay, and personally, I prefer to use continuous divisions instead of factor 3. Okay, and now how are you going to answer for part A? The prime factors of 102 will be 2, 3, 17. 2, 3, and 17. And how are you going to answer for part B? Product of its prime factors, or we also call it prime factorization, like this. 2 times 3 times 17. Okay? Example 4. I will give you 1 minute to try. Repeat the same thing like example 3. Repeat the same step like example 3. Okay, now from method 1, by using factor 3, so you will get 3 times 19. Both of 3 and 19 are prime numbers, so stop. Okay. And now method 2, 57, when we divide by 3 will give you 19. And don't stop up to 19, stop up to 1. Okay. So 19 divided by 19 will give you 1. And how are you going to answer for part A? The prime factors of 57 will be 3 and 19. Sorry, I repeat myself. For part A, the prime factors of 57 will be 3 and 19. And how are you going to write down the answer in terms of product of its prime factors or in terms of prime factorization? The answer will be 3 times 19. Example 5. For part A, find the prime factors of 225. For part B, write 225 as the product of its prime factors. And here you need to leave your answer in index notation. You already learned this index notation during year 6. So you should know how to express the answer in index notation by now. Okay, I will give you 1 minute to try. Okay, for part A, the factors of 225. So here I'm using continuous division method. So reach up to 1. Therefore, the factors, the prime factors for 225 will be 3 and 5. Now, write 225 as the product of its prime factors. Leave your answer in index notation. If you express this answer in terms of product of its prime factors, it will be 3 times 3 times 5 times 5, right? But here you need to leave your answer in index notations. So your final answer will be 3 square times 5 square. Okay, now example number 1. Find the HCF of 16, 24, and 40. Okay, so I will give you 1 minute to try. Remember here HCF. Okay, you should get the answer by now. Remember here we are trying to find the HCF, and you should be familiar with this method. Use prime numbers as the factor, and this is HCF. So make sure all of these 16, 24, and 40 can be divided by 2. Okay, same goes to 8, 12, and 20. Still we can divide by 2, left with 4, 6, and 10. Still you can divide by 2, left with 2, 3, and 5, and that's it. Okay, so highest common factor stop until any of the number here cannot be divided by the same factor. So your answer should be 8, this one. Okay, this will be your final answer, not 2 times 2 times 2. Okay, the final answer should be 8. Okay, again, I will give you 1 minute to try example 2. Find the HCF of 20, 24, and 32. Find the HCF of 20, 24, and 32. Okay, same method. Divide by 2, you will get 5, 6, and 8. So your answer should be 4. Moving on with example 3. Two wires are 12 meter and 16 meter long. The wires are to be cut into pieces of equal length. Find the maximum length of each pieces. And can you please add length into your notes? Okay, I miss with this word in your notes. So it is actually find the maximum length, okay, of each pieces. I will give you 1 minute to try. Okay, now when the question asks you about maximum length, it is one hint for you to find HCF. Okay, so apply your HCF, you solve, then the maximum length will be 2 times 2 and the answer will be 4. Okay, example 4. A choir at your school wants to divide the choir into smaller groups. There are 24 sopranos, 60 altos, and 36 tenors. Each group will have the same number of each type of voice. Okay, and here we have two questions. For part A, what is the greatest number of groups that can be formed? And for part B, how many sopranos, altos, and tenors will be in each group? When you see the word greatest in exam, greatest number in exam, and it is actually a hint for you to use highest common factor to solve the questions. Okay, so write down sopranos, altos, and tenors by using this continuous division method. And sopranos will have 24, altos 60, and tenors 36. We divide all of them by 2 and you will get 12, 30, and 18. And divide again by 2, you will get 6, 15, and 9. Still, all of this number can be divided by 3, so divide by 3, you will get 2, 5, and 3. Now, the highest common factor for these questions will be 2 times 2 times 3 and the answer will be 12. Okay. Now, how many sopranos, altos, and tenors will be in each group? And look at the value at the bottom here. Okay. Look at the value at the bottom here. Now, sopranos, the value here will be 2. Right? And altos, 5. And tenors will be 3. That is how you're going to answer these questions in exam. Now, example 5, it is about LCM. You already learned this LCM in your primary 6, so I will give you 1 minute to solve this LCM. You need to find out the LCM of 15 and 20. Okay, now circle the word LCM and we proceed with the workings. You must show your workings in exam, okay? So 15 and 20, I divide by 5. We're left with 3 and 4. So I divide these 3 by 3 and I will get 1. So carry this 4 down and divide by 2. Remember, here always prime numbers, so use 2. Alright, just carry down that 1 and 4 divided by 2 will give you 2 and divide again this 2 by 2 and then you will get 1, 1. Okay, and your LCM will be 60. How to get the 60? 2 times 2 times 3 times 5 and will give you 60. Okay, Example 6. Find the LCM of 90, 135, and 150. I give you 1 minute to try. Okay, now circle the word LCM so that you alert that you are actually finding LCM. Okay, 90, 135, and 150. You proceed. I divide by 5 and left with 18, 27, and 30. I divide by 2, left with 9, 27, and 15. I divide by 3, left with 3, 9, and 5. I divide by 3, left with 1, 3, and 5. And then I divide with 3 again, leave with, just carry this down, 1, 3, become 1, 5. So divide by 5 will give 1. Okay, so this one just carry it down, carry it down. Therefore, the LCM will be 1350. Okay, moving on with example 7. Okay, if you have this kind of questions, look for the keywords. The keywords here is together. Okay, together. And at what time will the three services next leave the station together? Together is the keywords. If you see the words together, you can use LCM to solve that questions. Okay, so your step 1 here will be finding your LCM. I will give you 1 minute to find out the LCM for 10, 15, and 25 minutes. Alright? So, step 1, find out the LCM. Okay. So, your step 1 should be like this. Don't forget to write down the name at the top. Okay, so your LCM is 150 minutes. Your LCM is 150 minutes. But the questions one about at what time will the three services next leave the stations together? So 150 is not the final one. Okay, now how to solve these questions? Here you can see here together at 9 a.m. Okay, and next, at what time that these three services next leave the station together? You change this 150 into hours and minutes. So you will get 2 hours and 30 minutes. You add them up. So your final answer will be 11:30 minutes. Okay. Now, example 8. The LCM of two numbers is 60. One of the numbers is 12. Find the other number. Find as many answers as you can. Okay. Your step 1, list down factors of 60. Okay. List down factors of 60 and you will get these answers. Please check your answers. Okay. The factors of 60, you'll get this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 12, 15, 20, 30, and 60. Okay, then your step 2, try to match the factor with 12 and find out which match will give LCM 60. Okay, now like this, you match 1 and 12. You have the answer here is 1. Okay, so 1 and 12, you will get LCM equal to 12, right? You can try it by yourself. I will not show you how to find the LCM for 1 and 12. You need to practice to find it by yourself. Okay, then moving on with 2 and 12, the LCM will be 12. 3 and 12, the answer will be 12. Also for 4. Okay, now if you see here number 5, not number 5, 5 and 12. Okay, 5 and 12, you get 60 here, right? So this one, take that one, sambung. Next. Okay, as you can see here, now 10 and 12, you will get 60. 15, 12, we should get 60. 20, 12, 60. 30, 12, 60, and 60, 12, 60. So from here, the question 1, find as many answer as you can. So the answer are 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, and 60. Okay. This will be our last topic for the session, test of divisibility, and here is page 7. And what does divisible mean? Okay, in maths, a number is said to be divisible by another number if the remainder is 0. Okay, we don't have 0 at all. So by that, we can say the number is divisible with that another numbers. Okay, now here are some of the divisibility rules. A number is divisible by 1 if every number is divisible by 1. Okay, a number is divisible by 2 if the last digit is 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8. This one you should know ever since your primary. Okay, a number is divisible by 3 if the sum of its digits is divisible by 3. A number is divisible by 4 if the last two digits is divisible by 4. A number is divisible by 5 if the last digit is 0 or 5. Right? And we can say a number is divisible by 6 if the number is divisible by 2 and 3. Okay? Now, we proceed with 7. A number is divisible by 7 if the last digit is double and subtracted from the number formed by remaining digits. The result is divisible by 7. Okay? For example, 203. We double this 3. 3 times 2 is 6, correct? And then we subtract 20 minus 6 and we will got 14. Okay? Now, look at this 14. Is this 14 divisible by 7? And the answer is yes. Okay, therefore 203 is also divisible by 7. Okay, now a number is divisible by 8. Okay, when the number represented by its last 3 digits is divisible by 8. For example, 47,328. You look at the last 3 digits, 3 to 8, okay? And you try to divide that 328 by 8, and you will get 41. By doing this, you can see that we don't have any remainder. Therefore, that 47,328 is divisible by 8. Alright? Now, a number is divisible by 9. Okay, when the sum of its digit is divisible by 9. Take this example, 513. We sum all of the digits here, 5 plus 1 plus 3, and you will got 9. Do you think 9 can be divided by 9? And the answer is yes. Therefore, 513 is divisible by 9. Okay, a number is divisible by 10 if the last digit is 0. That's it. Okay, a number is divisible by 11. Okay, how we check the if the number is divisible by 11? Okay, you add and subtract digits in n alternating patterns. Add digits, subtract next digit, add next digit, and etc. Okay, then check if that answer is divisible by 11. For example, 903. Okay, we add first, plus 9 minus 1 plus 3, you will get 11. Do you think 11 can be divided by 11? And the answer is yes. Therefore, 913 divisible by 11. And the last one, 12. The number is divisible by both 3 and 4. For example, 648 by 3. You look at here, the sum of its digit is divisible by 3, right? So we use this rule. So 6 plus 4 plus 8, you will get 18. And can this 18 divide by 3? Yes. Okay, we'll get 6. And then by 4, look at the rules for by 4. The last 2 digits is divisible by 4. So we take 48. 48 divided by 4, and you got 12. Both of them, we don't have any remainder. Therefore, 648 can be divisible by 12. Okay, so here are some of the visibility rules. You can use these informations during exam. Okay, and always remember, when the number is divisible by that another number, it must have no remainder. Okay, moving on with example 1. We have 3 questions here. A is 72 divisible by 2, B is 53 divisible by 3, and C is 4243 divisible by 9. I will give you 1 minute to try. Don't forget to copy down the examples and your answers. Okay? 1 minute from now. Okay, now part A is 72 divisible by 2. According to the divisibility rules, if the last digit is 2, then the number should be divisible by 2. So the answer is yes. B is 53 divisible by 3. We refer to the rules. The sum of its digit is divisible by 3. Okay. So 5 plus 3 will give you 8. Do you think 8 is divisible by 3? The answer is no. C is 4253 divisible by 9. We refer to the rules. The sum of its digit is divisible by 9. Okay, so 4 plus 2 plus 4 plus 3 will give you 13. So, do you think 13 is divisible by 9? The answer is no. Moving on with example 2. Example 2, circle the numbers that are divisible by both 5 and 10. Okay, I repeat myself. Example 2, circle the numbers that are divisible by both 5 and 10. 1 minute from now. This number, okay? From this number, numbers in this box. Okay, now be careful with these questions. The instruction, that number must be divisible by both 5 and 10. If you look here, the end of each of these numbers are 0 and 5, but it must be 5 and 10, both 5 and 10. So your answer is 470 and 3120. Okay, 470 and 3120. Okay, last example, example 3. Color the numbers that are divisible by both 4 and 7. I will give you 1 minute to try. And here will be the numbers. Okay, now remember the number should be divisible by both 4 and 7. And the numbers will be 1008, 728, and 5712. You can use divisibility rules to work out the workings. How I got this 1008, 728, and also 5712. Okay, So this will be our last example. We will end this session by reciting doa. Thank you so much and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Doa selepas belajar. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma inni astaudi'uka ma 'allamtani fardudhu ilayya inda hajati ilaihi wala tansani ya rabbal alamin. Ya Allah, sesungguhnya aku menitipkan padamu ilmu-ilmu yang telah engkau ajarkan kepadaku, dan kembalikanlah kepadaku sewaktu aku memerlukannya kembali. Dan janganlah engkau lupakan aku kepada ilmu itu, wahai Tuhan yang memiliki semesta alam. Amin.